if it's a powder, whatever you have. Like blush. I feel like my cheeks need something. I'm gonna put on a little hair. Yeah, I'm gonna use this pink blender. Oh, inexpensive and they're good quality. See me a lot in my content that I'm there as well, but you can already see. Let's start with some face primer. Priming the face before any makeup routine is so essential, and you don't want to skip it. You also do not want to skip your skin prep. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna just go and do foundation. I've already done my eyes today. I feel like my eyes are very much like soft, subtle, all the things. But you know, if you want to have more eye makeup tutorials, just subscribe to my channel. All the videos will start flooding in on your home screen on YouTube. So yeah, you can enjoy that for free. All right, we're gonna go ahead and use House Labs today. This is my absolute all-time favorite foundation for many reasons, but we are gonna like turn up the sleeves and pump this right on the back of the hand, go right in with our blender and start getting a full beat of foundation on. Our foundation is on. We're gonna go in and just add a little bit of warmth to my skin. We're gonna go in today and use the bronzing drops from Drunk Elephant. I really do love these. They just give a natural, subtle look to your makeup routine, and I think that's just really pretty. So we're gonna take the bottom of this blender and kind of just add it through my skin tone. Add it into kind of like the foundation. You can also mix this with a moisturizer, but I think it's really beneficial to get your foundation on, add a little bit of color to your skin, because it's going to make you feel a little bit more alive for your makeup routine and not feel like you're trying to correct something or add too much contour or bronzer, you know, to your look. I think that that is a big mess up for most women, is when you are doing any contouring, you end up getting carried away and using it in a way to actually make you look more tan, and that's what you don't want to do. So bronzer is one thing, contour is a totally different thing, and that's why makeup companies, when you're buying cosmetics, it says contour and it says bronzer. They both have two different undertones. The warmth and the coolness from them are very different, and you just want to be very aware of like, okay, let me just get matched up to my product, my color within the brand that you're going to use. So the two products that I personally lean into the most when it comes to this is from Fenty and also from e.l.f. I think it's really nice to have a high-end and a low-end product in your makeup bag. I've always, obviously, I've done makeup for years as a retired makeup artist, but I just think for me, simplistic is very like, oh, awakening to me. I'm like, yes, that's what we need. I can't have too many options. It makes my brain go wild and crazy, but I also do like options. So you don't need to have like 5 and 6 of these. Just a few of these will actually do the job, unless you're just like a contour connoisseur and you just want to have more, then have more. I want to show you the difference. This is a medium tan from e.l.f. that I do have here, and you can see how beautiful that tone is. And then you can see this one is mocha, and that is from Fenty. Very much the same type of tone for my skin complexion, a little bit deeper here than here, but they both really do the same job. I will have to also guide you when you are contouring. It's all about the technique and the tool that you have. The main thing that would be super helpful for you is to make sure your tools are like on point. The brush set that I always use, I bought it from Amazon, and the bristles do not fall out. It has really been a tried and true affordable brush set that comes with multiple brushes that I love. I think the whole set was like around $30, and I got a lot of brushes. May have been less than that, but sometimes you can buy one brush for $30, so it's just like whatever you feel like doing. But you want to make sure you have some movement on your brush, because if it's too dense and hard and won't move, then it ends up making your product more muddy. Having something that's more movable is really going to be important for the technique of contouring. So making sure you're using something like this. You can even use a product like this that's just a little bit more, I mean a brush like this that has a little bit more movement. You can see how this one moves a lot too. You could definitely use that to blend with as well. So depending on all three of these of what I want to do, if it's a liquid, if it's a powder, whatever you have, then you can use that. Today I'm going to really just lean into more liquids. I prefer a liquid when it comes to contouring, unless I'm doing more of like this really soft, nice, natural makeup look, then I could do a powder. But then again, if I'm doing a really nice, soft makeup look, I'm not really trying to contour. I'm just trying to like get my face together and look really smooth and even. So we're going to go in with either one of these is fine, whichever one you want to grab. And I'm going to show you here another way of making sure that you are applying it correctly for your face. So the darker colors are going to lift. So if you really need to lift your eyes, best way to do that is to take your contour right here and it's gonna lift your face. So I'm gonna show you the difference. I think this is such a cool technique that gets looked over a lot, but we're gonna just like take it in right here and see what this ends up doing, and we can bring it all the way here. Having this cut like this on here is going to be really important for me because it's really just going to take my face in a little bit more, but also lift it. So carrying it like this, or you can take it on here on this side and you can really cut it here and kind of like define and chisel that cheekbone, you know, and then you just want to like warm up the temple and the forehead here. So you can take that right in there and it's just gonna like cut that for you. So I did just draw on my face. I am gonna end up removing this and show you some different ways of like applying it right on the skin, because sometimes applying it right here, and a lot of times I take my contour directly to my face, but I also am very good at blending and making sure it's not messy and muddy and yucky with the techniques that I know and do naturally when I'm doing my makeup. But I just wanted you to kind of see that. And if you just want to cut here also around your jaw, then you want to take a little bit here in your jaw and like a line and just make like a little L here, and then take right here and then make a T right here, and then do the same thing right there. So you have a lifted eye on this side is how that's gonna take it, and then you're really taking in and chiseling in the jaw, and then you have more of a sculpted, chiseled face on this eye that you're shrinking here and defining and then chiseling in. So there's two different ways that you can do it. Again, I'm just going to kind of dust this and wipe this off, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to contour my face for me. But I want you to just kind of take a mental note of this. This is going to help if you have a little bit more of like a chin, like a little bit more skin and not such, you know, you just have a little bit extra fluff right there. This is really going to cut that. And then this is going to cut it, and it just, ooh, it just makes a big difference. And then too, if you want to pouty up your lip, then you want to contour right under your lip as well. And then your nose, again, take your nose right on the side if you have a wider shaped nose. And then I like to cut my nose at the bottom here and then a little bit in the center, and it'll kind of leave a little bit of a button, but I like to chisel in my nose. So wow, like you definitely have some things to play with and to work with for shaping your face. And it really is fun to be creative with your makeup. When you see different techniques online for contouring, just try it, see if it works for you. If that creator has more of a face shape like you too, really take those tips in and do it. But personally, these two ways are really like the staple of what you need. This is going to lift, and this is just going to secure and chisel. So it definitely is really fun to try out. But yeah, so take a little shot of this, but I'm going to go take this off, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to contour using our brush so we don't look muddy and yucky, and definitely so we can just go from like, I'm just learning to do this technique, how can I do it and not look messy? That's what we want to achieve today. I have my foundation back on, everything's off. Okay, so we're good to go back in and do all that. Just was like, I don't need to take you through all of that again. Okay, so I'm going to use this brush here, and I actually have two of them. So this one is I just washed the other one, so it's a little bit more like, still has some wetness in there. So I'm gonna let that dry. So I'm gonna go in and use this one. I actually have 2 of those brush sets. They are so good. They're that good, y'all. All right, so take this and take it on your contour stick. Now, again, you will see me a lot in my content that I'm just like rubbing it on my face and blending it. But I feel so overconfident when it comes to putting on my makeup that I'm like, I've done this for so long, I got it, you know what I mean? But there are so many of you that are like, ah, that freaks me out, you know what I mean? And then you're not blending it and then it looks like streaks. We can't do that, we can't. So go ahead and just take it right here on your brush. And that way it helps it from being so dramatic. So now this is the thing. I have more of a 5 head. There's just a lot happening up here. A lot of real estate. So I like to shrink it here. This is my personal face again. Go with the technique I showed you earlier. Pick one and then we're going to blend together. And then I like to chisel in and just create some structure here and definition and then create a jaw. That is my preference. So what I love to do is just like take it in right here. And you're creating a shadow. Do you see how much lighter that is than like a big streak? And then I take it on my forehead and just really get it good there. You see how that already like, okay, we have some shrinkage there. That's nice. Take it right back in and we're gonna create the L here. Take it right back here. Okay, so now that that is in place, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna blend all that through and we're just gonna do one side so we can just really see like what's happening and check out like how smooth it is and just blend, work on blending. Look at that, blending. This is the thing too, don't be intimidated by makeup. I want you to really love what you're doing and just really have a good time with it and play with it, because sometimes what works for you one day will probably not work for you the next. Also have a blender handy and just blend the edges of what you did like around your neck just so everything's really soft right there as well. But you can already see structure here and here. Look at that. And we just want it to look like this smoothness, right, of transition. So I'm a big fan of that. We're gonna go ahead and do the other side now. Fabulous. Makes a world of a difference. Then take the blender, blend the edges, and voila, like major. Okay, also contouring should make your face look like it's naturally like that, you know what I mean? Because if you're doing too much and it's just like overdrawn and over dramatic, then you're gonna be like, that's not really her face. You just want to naturally create those shadows. If you see, comment below if you ever see this, if you see the girlies that do the self tanner and they put it all over their face and they sleep in it and then they wake up and then they wash it off. That technique I personally don't do, and I don't really want to do it necessarily, but if you are that girly and you do want to do it or you see that and you're interested in it, it does work because it naturally tans your face where your face should be tan, you know, and I love that concept. But I personally don't do it. I love it, but I don't do it. And I don't know why. I just haven't really been like, I want to do that. You know, I'm like, I'm just gonna tan my whole freaking face. So I just like subtle tanning things. I don't like crazy dramatic tanning things. But I do want to go back in and just add a teeny bit more here and just make sure all of that is defined. Now, to make sure that your contour is contouring is you have to have a highlighter with it. You can't just contour and be like, oh, that's just what you do. No. Now you want to go back in to make that pop and use a highlighter. So we want to highlight. You can see naturally on my face already, just from my foundation and that dramatic difference in the contour versus my skin tone. You can already see where it's lighter. So you would already imagine like, oh, you already have a little something on, but I don't. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to dot a little bit here, just a little line I love now a lot of the highlighters have like a little point to them. I just think that's genius because it really helps you stay where you need to stay. And get the nose, get the inside corner here of the eye, get right in the middle of your brow bone of the 11s that like to pop out. And then we're going to do a little bit right here on the chin. And then we're going to take a little bit here so you can see the top of that ear, like right here in the middle of your ear. I want you to take that line right here and just kind of color that in a little bit. Same here. Got a little bit of my hairs. Take it right in there. And then boom, we're gonna really just play up with that. Also a little bit right here at your mouth will help a ton if you do that too, kind of like you do your eyes. So doing that, now we're gonna go in, and while that sits, I love this one because it doesn't dry down quick. It really stays where it should. We are gonna take a shadow kind of brush here, a little detail, not one that's too big. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This one right here, you see how much movement there is with that one? One's a little bit thinner and longer. So we're gonna take that right here also in my contour, and we're gonna take it right here and follow the bone structure of the nose and just create a really nice, precise, strong nose. And I am obsessed with this so much. Look at that, so good. Underneath the lip, always do a little bit under your lip just to create some of the poutiness in your lip. Take a little bit right here on the side of your lip as well, just a teeny bit. You're not doing much. Okay, so there we go, and it creates more of a pouchy lip. I'm gonna look for my lighter blender, and we're just gonna blend out this highlight. So now we're gonna take in see how I kept patting that in until it like really softened up those edges? You want to do that. If you also notice that your products dry down too fast, then you can spray them with a setting spray, and that will help hydrate them. Setting sprays are meant to hydrate your face, and that will help hydrate them, or hydrate your products a little bit more to help you kind of have a little bit more movement. So that definitely makes a difference. Now you can see the nose is like, what is happening? And then I just kind of pat it everywhere just to make sure everything's really blended. The highlight, the contour is all blended nice together, and then voila. So now that your creams are in position and in place, you can go back in now with a warmth bronzer, just something really soft, nothing too harsh. So I will tell you, my favorite is to take an angled brush like so, and just take it right here, like almost the tip of that brush, and then just like kind of just take it in right here. You don't want to do too much, and you almost want to just like barely press and go into the hair a little bit, just because that's gonna kind of like, and this is a warmth, you can see like a little bit of that difference right there, right? Isn't that crazy? That to that, I'm just obsessed with this product. And this is called a warmth bronzer, so it's just warming up that tone right there, that area, and just intensify them a little bit to look a little bit more natural. I'm obsessed. Again, I'm just doing the tips here for the nose, going in right here, and I'm just doing this side of the nose, creating that shadow. Big difference, big difference. Another thing I'm obsessed with doing, I just think it's overlooked, is like really making sure that right here on the nostrils that you just kind of like accentuate that up into that natural highlight that you did there, because that's also going to thin out the nose and help really define what you just did. Then I can go back in with my cream, and I take that shadow right here just to define that. Okay, what do we think of this so far? And then you're just really just like perfecting everything at this point. You're just going back in and making sure like everything's how you left it. So now that everything is in place, the creams are there, we need to just set the face. So going in with powders that are your favorite, grab your favorite powder, translucent, setting, anything like that that you just know is like, this never, you know, it just never disappoints. You know what I mean? It just always does what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to do this under my eye. I love the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder here. It's that Flawless setting powder. I like that under my eye. I've just come to gravitate towards that recently, and that's my go-to. So just taking it in right there. And then I kind of am loving the Polite Society. Now, at first it was like very shocking to me. I was like, I don't know if I can get down with this, but I'm kind of liking it now that I've been using it with a brush versus the poof or whatever that I was using. So I just like this a lot. It really does take those pores away. So good. Big fan. Big fan. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is a little bit on the lips, and I'm gonna take the hair down, and we're just gonna go ahead and like finish mascara on the bottom, things like that, and add some blush to the look. But like, this is really giving, so I'm a fan. Okay, so now the only thing that is missing is like blush. I feel like my cheeks need something, so I finished with some shadow underneath, mascara, touched up a little bit more shadow there, did some lips, just a soft like mauve-y, everyday kind of pinky color there. And yeah, so I think this kind of finished it. You can definitely see the difference in how it defined my face. You could be more dramatic with it if you wanted to, but this is also beginners, and I do want you to go in public and not feel like you look crazy, like, oh my gosh. So yeah, so now we're gonna go in with a pretty cheek color. I have this one in my makeup case that I haven't used recently because it's kind of been a little bit too deep or whatever, and so I want to use this one right now for going into like the season of fall. It makes me really happy. So there was something I wanted to do the other day. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use this pink blender with my more like pink cheek colors and things, because I'm like, I need it to like feel like it's getting clean, you know what I mean? Like when I wash it, I don't want to have like it stained. So I like to take my cheek color right here and then take it into the hairline and just give me a good little pout there, and then just blend it in. Definitely brings more life. These cream cheeks are very quick to set fast, so just be mindful of that. You can see that already brought some life to my face. And then we just want to blend on the side. So it's like I use the bottom to apply it, and then I take it on. You can see how that's very blended. This needs a little bit more work. You can see up close like the difference of like how everything's like blended. Now another thing that I do love to do is I go back in with a brush and I go around edges of my makeup and just make sure that everything's like okay, you know, especially too if I got foundation in my hairline or whatever. Yeah, definitely a big difference. So whoa, was that helpful? So that was a little bit of contouring, guys. I definitely am one that I'm like, I have to do it, because if I don't, I feel like my face just has no structure, period. And so it just helps define it. But I want you to understand, like, there's different ways of doing it. The two ways I did show you are so helpful and very basic, that it's like, man, if you just need to do a lift, do it that way. If you need to just sculpt, do it this way. And then go in with a brush. Get this brush set though, I swear to you, even if you have great brushes, you have so many brushes, if you were just like, I don't know, I'm missing one, I'm like, just buy the whole set, because it's so inexpensive and they're good quality. And so yeah, anyways, my Amazon link is below, so you can click on that. You can go to my list, search, play, all the stuff. They're really organized, and yeah, and get it. It's great. And then I would get the bar that pink bar on there too, because that one helps clean them really well to get them a good deep clean. But this spray is really nice to just like touch them up here and there. But anyways, I hope that you loved it. If you're into beauty content at all and lifestyle and just very realistic makeup from someone that does her makeup every day and has been in front of people teaching makeup for many years as a makeup artist, then yeah, I am the channel that you would want to follow and subscribe to. And subscriptions on YouTube are $0, which I'm obsessed with. And I'm a YouTube like watcher. I binge watch YouTube all the time, and I have channels that I'm obsessed with and creators on there, and I'm like, man, they're so creative and they're so fun to watch. Like, I just think that's really cool to support people that have channels. So anyways, I hope that you do hit the subscribe button and hang around with me. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. This was so fun. We're doing makeup 101, back to the basics. So this was contouring. If you missed last week, here's a picture of the screenshot. It's right on my homepage, but just go check that out and you can binge watch a lot of content because it's here. All right, well, I will see you next time. See ya, beauty. Bye.